Terry Rozier, the unsung hero in the Miami Heat locker room. Here's the reality no one wants to admit. Terry Rozier's Miami Heat tenure has been a roller coaster, but his locker room reputation remains untarnished. Veteran NBA reporter Ira Winderman reveals a critical distinction. Rozier has been a model citizen within the Heat's inner circle, contrasting sharply with Jimmy Butler's controversial past. This raises an important question. Why does locker room chemistry sometimes get overlooked in player evaluations? Winderman emphasizes Rozier's professionalism. He arrives ready to contribute, fully invested in supporting teammates, and maintains unwavering focus. This scene changes dramatically when comparing Butler's infamous command. But here's the kicker. Rozier's on-court struggles have dominated headlines, overshadowing this crucial nuance. The numbers paint a clear picture. Last season, Rozier's production plummeted to 10.6 ppg, 3.7 rpg, and 2.6 APG on woeful shooting percentages. These stats are a far cry from his earlier prime, where he regularly approached 20 ppg. It's easy to write him off, but why has his game declined so drastically? Injuries played a role in his playoff absence, inconsistent 2023-24 campaign. But the ongoing gambling investigation from his Hornets days still lingers as a potential red flag. Miami's gamble on Rozier now looks questionable. The Heat surrendered future draft equity for his services, and now face an uphill battle trying to offload his contract. Winderman breaks down the potential trade scenarios. Rozier's expiring $21.5 million deal could appeal to teams craving salary cap relief. The Heat might package Rozier in a larger trade involving sweetheart draft assets. A cost-cutting team could absorb his contract to free up future space. But here's the irony. Rozier's locker room pedigree makes him a better trade candidate. Teams with young cores might value his experience and low-key leadership. At 31, he's not old by NBA standards. Players like Kyle Lowry or even Butler post-Heat have found revitalization elsewhere. Could a change of scenery reignite Rozier's scoring touch? Let's spark debate. Does locker room harmony matter as much as on-court production? Some argue chemistry is intangible, while others demand results regardless of personal behavior. Rozier's situation tests this balance. If he stays in Miami next season, will his tenacity translate to on-court success or remain a footnote in his career? Winderman's own analysis echoes this tension. Rozier's value hinges on recapturing his offensive spark, not just his locker room presence. Yet the NBA's trade market often prioritizes cap flexibility over intangibles. It's a paradox worth pondering. As front offices hunt for both talent and fiscal responsibility, players like Rozier become chess pieces in a high-stakes game. Now it's your turn. Do you think Terry Rozier deserves another chance? Is locker room character enough to justify his Heat deal, or are his performance issues a deal-breaker? Let's discuss. Heat and Terry, a new era in NBA? Imagine this. The Miami Heat are once again facing the specter of Terry Rozier dominating their offseason discussions. But here's where it gets controversial. Can any team realistically take Rozier without some added value? Jerry from Miami expresses his frustration, recalling the chaos surrounding Jimmy Butler last season. Based on Rozier's performance and the swirling rumors about his gambling involvement, it's hard to envision a straight-up trade. The Heat already invested a first-round pick in 2027 or 2028 for him, so adding extra value seems unlikely. If a trade does happen, it might involve another team offloading future obligations in exchange for Rozier's soon-to-expire contract. Alternatively, his salary could be part of a larger deal package. Interestingly, Rozier has consistently proven himself a reliable teammate, unlike Jimmy Butler's contentious history. He arrives ready to play and support his teammates, which is invaluable in any locker room. And this is the part most people miss. Pat Riley often swoops in on undervalued players, but there's no buzz about him pursuing Jonathan Kuminga. Chadwick from Lake Worth is puzzled by this. However, Kuminga's status as a restricted free agent complicates things. The Heat can't simply extend an offer sheet due to their cap situation, which would require a complex trade involving various compensations. Moreover, the Warriors aren't desperate to get rid of Kuminga. They have the upper hand given his restricted free agent status. Lastly, Harvey raises a valid point about the Heat's lack of a veteran backup center. Comparing this to the Dolphins' mistake with Tua Tagovailoa is apt, though the situations aren't exactly parallel. Still, Adding a third-string center wouldn't hurt, especially considering the Heat currently have limited depth in the middle aside from Vlad Golden's two-way contract. So what do you think? Should the Heat consider adding Rozier's salary to a bigger trade package, or is it time to explore other options? What about Jonathan Kuminga? Do you think the Heat should make a move despite the complications? Share your thoughts in the comments. Miami Heat's Terry Rozier to Chicago Bulls? Analyzing the two-time All-Star trade proposal. Could a bold trade shake up the NBA? Discussions are heating up as teams dive into the offseason, and the focus is on roster reconfigurations for the upcoming 2025-26 season. With numerous veteran players facing expiring contracts and teams reevaluating their trajectories, the world of basketball is buzzing with speculation, especially among franchises eager to recalibrate their core while keeping an eye on future opportunities. At this pivotal crossroads, the Miami Heat and the Chicago Bulls seem to be at pivotal crossroads in their respective journeys. Miami's coming off a season of unmet expectations, characterized by key player acquisitions that didn't hit the mark. Chicago, on the other hand, has been lingering in the middle of the Eastern Conference standings, without a clear strategy for advancement. Both teams, it seems, are likely to explore changes aligned with their shifting priorities. Recently, a provocative trade suggestion from Sports Illustrated has ignited conversations about a potential win-win transaction. This hypothetical scenario involves the Miami Heat offloading guard Terry Rozier, along with rookie Pelle Larsson and his second-round pick in 2027, to the Chicago Bulls in exchange for center Nikola and guard Ayo Dosunmu. Trade overview. Miami Heat receive Nikola Ayo Dosunmu. Chicago Bulls receive Terry Rozier, guard, Pelle Larsson, guard, 2027 second-round pick. Miami Heat's perspective. Terry Rozier, at 30 years old, has had a tumultuous stint in Miami. Originally brought in from Charlotte to strengthen the backcourt, Rozier has put together an underwhelming performance, averaging only 11.0 points, 4.0 rebounds, and 3.0 assists per game, with shooting stats that leave much to be desired. His role was diminished as he moved to the bench and found himself embroiled in a lead investigation over gambling issues, which he has since been cleared of. However, his status as an expiring $26 million contract positions him as a viable trade asset. Acquiring Vucevic, a two-time All-Star, would give Miami a much-needed boost in the frontcourt. Vucevic's contract is also set to expire soon, presenting Miami with a lucrative opportunity without long-term commitment. This trade could allow the Heat to experiment with Bam Adebayo shifting to power forward in specific lineups, and Vucevic's robust shooting and rebounding skills would greatly facilitate that transition. With recent drafts adding promising rookie Kelly Oubre and the signing of Norman Powell, Miami appears open to reimagining its makeup. Ayo Dosunmu, now 25, would enhance the Heat's backcourt versatility. As a second-round pick from 2021, he's established himself as a trustworthy rotation player with a blend of defensive capabilities and scoring, coming in at an accessible $7.5 million for the upcoming final year of his contract. Chicago Bulls perspective. With the trade deadline passed, the Bulls have been contemplating their stance on Vucevic and examining potential avenues for future direction. The 34-year-old has remained a reliable contributor, but with his contract running out and the front office tinkering with the roster, there's a pressing incentive to trade him while they can still receive value and free up future cap space. Chicago may find it beneficial to include Dosunmu in any package, as his talent has piqued the interest of multiple teams in the current offseason. In this scenario, the Bulls would acquire Rozier, expiring contract, Larsson, a rookie guard on a friendly contract, and a second-round pick, equipping them with the assets to build for the future. This trade fits neatly into Chicago's recent activities, including the departure of Lonzo Ball earlier this month and the unresolved situation with restricted free agent Josh Giddey. The proposed trade would not only provide a new guard option, but also boost Chicago's financial flexibility as they approach the 2026 offseason. Future outlook. Though there are no confirmed discussions happening between the Heat and Bulls yet, the proposed trade structure captures the current goals and needs of both franchises. Miami is clearly looking to reconfigure after a disappointing season, while Chicago seems ready to reshape its core and explore potential cap relief. As both teams ponder their next steps, discussions like these could gain traction as the 2025-26 season looms closer. What do you think about this trade idea? Could it benefit both sides, or are there better options out there? Share your thoughts in the comments.